Oh, I'm in the air. Hey guys, it's me. Hope you're doing well. I thought I'd try my first live hangout kind of thing because I do one of my DVD reviews channel with James Johnson, and I thought I could just do it because since my camera stopped working, I thought if I did a live hangout now and again, and I could record basically what I wanted to say within that. So here goes. So first of all, I've got a quick Blu-ray update. Anyone who hasn't seen the other one will know three of them, but I've got two more I bought today. So the first thing I got was The Switch, which does Andy Lau, who's one of my favourite Asian actors. Really looking forward to watching this movie. A cult classic, The Great Escape, should be in everybody's collection. I don't know why it isn't. Confessions of a Murder, which is a Korean film, which, to be honest with you, I'm really looking forward to watching because the woman who's wearing that mask, I don't know if you can see it, there it is. Oh, very shaky. And then basically today, me and Donna, we went out because I decided to sell my tablet because I wasn't using it and I needed the money for our anniversary because obviously I'm not working and I wanted to get her something nice. But I'll get into that in a minute. So basically, we went to Best Buy and we went to CEX. So we went to CEX first, but they made us wait an hour just to try and find out a price for what they wanted to give me for it before even testing it. And to be honest with you, it kind of annoyed me because I was like, why can't they test it while they're waiting for the price? I don't care. I just want them to test it because it took an hour before they even bothered. So basically, waiting in there, they finally took it in. We had to wait 45 minutes for the test to be over. A lot better than in England, that I had to wait an hour and 20 minutes in England. But anyway, so we went to Best Buy after that, and I looked around and I noticed the shop's movie section's got a lot smaller. I've noticed a lot of them are happening, like when Shaw Phillips and Brendan Mitchell go in their stores, they're going on about how they're getting smaller. And I agree with Shaun Phillips in the fact that I think that the movie section will end up being something you can only buy online in time. Obviously, you'll be able to buy it from places like Pawn Pros and used stores, but I think Best Buy now eventually get rid of them and just focus on main appliances and stuff, which is going to be quite sad, but it's part of life, sadly. Too many people are doing streaming. I don't like streaming. I don't like the quality. I don't like Netflix. I don't like Love Film. I don't like Hulu. You name it. I don't like them. I want to watch my stuff on disc. So anyway, I went in Best Buy and I bought the limited edition Son of Batman with the figure. And basically, I just took it out because I didn't want the figure to get damaged. And that's the Son of Batman Blu-ray. It came out recently, and I read on Blu-ray.com that it's okay, but it hasn't got enough time to grow. But I like collecting these DC, Marvel kind of movies, animated movies. So I'm glad I've got that because I'm really looking forward to watching this. And then I bought the Brian De Palma film, starring Rachel McAdams, Passion. I thought I'd give it a go because it was nice and cheap. And again, I like the woman who's got the thing on her face again. She's got her down there. That looks awesome to me. Yeah, it's like kissing. Two women kissing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But anyway, so I got them, and I what was I going to talk about? Oh dear, I found out of conversation topics. No, seriously, I've been watching a lot of wrestling lately, so I've started watching Northeast Wrestling, and it's a promotion which basically is for raising money for a charity of your choice, because you can book them. You can ask them if you can book them, and basically they'll do it for charity, basically. which is quite nice considering you've got women there like Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, Mickey James, and then you've got wrestlers there like Mick Foley and Roddy Rowdy Piper and Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Booker T and people like that, you know. So it's quite nice, but I don't really. I've got to be honest. It's all right, but I don't like it as much as I like things like Ring of Honor because I find there's more intensity in Ring of Honor. So basically, Northeast Wrestling is pretty good. I won't go out my way and recommend it, but I'd say buy one and then maybe get more if you like it. I mean, I bought the whole collection because they're only $5 each on their website at the time. They're not anymore, but at the time they were. I think I paid $7 for the last two, but so I'm up to date other than the last two that just came out recently. So I don't mind watching it. I got into Shikara about a month ago, and basically I've nearly got the whole collection out now. So basically, instead of taking my time, I kind of rush out and buy them. The first Shikara event I watched was the Kings of Trios, 2012, night 1, night 2, and night 3. And to be honest, the reason I originally bought it was because I saw they had the Barbarian and the Warlord, the Powers of Pain, and Meng in it. And I was like, well, I ain't seen these guys in ages. And they looked like old has-beens, obviously, and they were disappointing, and but it really made me enjoy the show because I like the Colony, and I like Tim Donst and BDK, and you know, there's so many people in it, like Lance Dorado and who else? Eddie Kingston, I think. I don't know. I don't really like Eddie Kingston because he's got this real basic kind of wrestling thing. I don't think he's worthy of a championship, even though he's their grand champion. So that don't make sense to me, but good luck to him. I've noticed he's in Ring of Honor in 2013 when they shut their doors with Homicide as Outlaw Inc. They make quite a good tag team, actually, Homicide and Eddie Kingston. But yeah, so Chicago was pretty good. I recommend people buy an event of that because it's fun and it's got the Queen of Wrestling, Sarah Del Rey, in it, who I absolutely love. Whoa, Sarah Del Rey. Whoa. And so Chicago's been pretty good. Then I watched CZW, Combat Zone Wrestling, and I watched loads of it years ago, like 2007, 8, and it weren't so bad then because they'd actually got some proper wrestlers. When you watch 1999, 2000, 2001, you're just looking at rubbish. It's filmed badly. The wrestling's horrendous. And there's some really, really hardcore spots in it which make the ECW look like nothing. But it's just all sloppy. There ain't any real skill to it. And the people with skill are wasted. You know, Rick Blade isn't too bad, even though he looks like a knobhead. What's his name? Madman Pondo. He's alright. Nick Gage and Justice Payne. And Nick Gage, I don't really like them. I don't think they're that great. Who else was in it? Lobo, yeah. He gets put through a flaming table on top of other tables, which is quite hardcore from a guy who falls through the roof after dropping thumbtacks on him, which is probably the highlight of the whole of the first 2 years. So yeah, CZW to me doesn't compare to ECW, not the first few years. The years after when they had made the Tournament of Death made it really hardcore. But I actually prefer proper wrestling. As much as the Tournament of Deaths are alright. I mean, I like them from a violent point of view, but I prefer watching proper wrestling. I prefer watching skilled athletes wrestle, not just smash things over each other. That's probably why I don't watch the IWA as much. I mean, I've watched the IWA, and my favourite wrestler in that was El Drunko. If anybody's seen El Drunko, they'll understand what I mean, because he's such a great luchador. Probably the best after Rey Mysterio, maybe even better. Then there's Dreamwave Wrestling, which I started, and I just realised I've been showing covers. I should show at least one cover of each one that I'm talking about. So let's go with Dreamwave. Let's see. Here's one. Dreamwave Wrestling with John Morrison in it. This is the anniversary one, and I have to admit I watched the first one. It wasn't a bad show. It's cheap and it's not all that, but it's all right. I mean, you have the odd name that star in it, but this one has Colt Cabana, John Morrison. Well, they put Lince Dorado. You know, there's normally one big special guest on the cards, and I bought the whole year of 2013. And it's basically about Christian Rose becoming champion, basically. Will he make it? Can he do it? And you know what? It's obvious he does, because the way it's built up. But, you know, I've only seen the first show, and, you know, depending on who's wrestling, it's not fantastic. It's a lot more slower. As if you watch a show like Ring of Honor, it's very fast-paced. Obviously, unless they've got a sloppy guy in there, like, you know, a big guy, for instance. But it's actually pretty good. It's better than the first few years of CZW, so I definitely recommend that. But I don't recommend buying it from the actual website because they don't put covers on the DVDs, so it ends up like that. And I don't like that because I find that sloppy. Then obviously after that we've got, let's see, what else is there? Then we've got Shimmer. Now Shimmer, which is female wrestling. And if I can get one, let's see. Let's take this one. There we go. Shimmer Wrestling. I actually like it. I remember first when I was watching Ring of Honor, them first talking about women's wrestling. And Sarah Del Rey was like the big star then, and she still is today. But she was like the queen of it, and everybody was going on about how big it was. Like, and nobody really. I got a point. I never really thought about watching it. I'm sure people did because they were at the events. I was going to say nobody did, but I never watched it because I never fancied it. And then recently I picked up a volume for like $4, I think, off eBay. And what happened was I watched it and I was like hooked, you know. And I ended up getting 1 to 6. And then 56 to 60, or 56 to 59, and then I saw a big auction of them on eBay recently from 1 to 20. So I bought 1 to 6 again, just to get 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, because they're all deleted now. So technically I got them all when I paid $210 for it all. Yeah, so that was a bit crazy, but, you know, don't tell the wife. But, yeah, so what I like about these, the later ones, is I like the pictures inside, you see? Now, that's how you do a DVD case, you know? Awesome. Plus, I've got a massive crush on cheerleader Melissa. Whoa. Yeah, take your clothes off, Melissa. And so, you know, Sarah Del Rey, you got to put like Sarah Del Rey, Alison Danger, who was in the very first Ring of Honor show as a part of the Prophecy. And then you've got, who else is on there? Let's have a look. Then you've got Mercedes Martinez, who lately I've really noticed her. I mean, she was the WSU champion for like 1,000 odd days. She's in Shine, which is another women's promotion I own. I just have never watched it yet, so I can't really say much about it, even though it's kind of the same as Shimmer because it's got the same female wrestlers in it. And she was in some Evolves, which I'm going to get to in a minute. Basically, I'm brain dead tonight because I'm so tired. Basically, she was in Evolve. She defended against Awesome Kong. Now, anyone who doesn't know who Awesome Kong is, she was Karma in WWE. The big, massive black woman, you know, who can kick some serious ass. So, you know, she was awesome. So yeah, and there's another female wrestling company called Femme Fatales. I bought Volume 3 off of eBay, and I've still got to get in the post to watch it. But female wrestling's quite fun. A lot of people think it's just for eye candy. I know Donna does. She thinks it's all about the eye candy, but it isn't. I enjoy the skill, even though female wrestling has deteriorated a lot since the days of the fabulous Moolah and Mae Young. It's getting there again, you know. It's getting its own promotions now, and it's getting bigger and bigger. I mean, Shimmer's been around for, let's say, 9 years. So, but the problem is they can only do like 1 or 2 events a year, and they cut it off into 2 DVDs per one. So it's a little bit, but if you're collecting it, it doesn't take you as long because you do 2 events a year, you can get more. So yeah, that's good. So there's that. Then there's oh, here we go. And then there's Evolve. Now I've got Evolve. I've got the Evolves from 2 all the way up to 19. And I have to admit, Evolve is awesome. It's really good. I like it a lot. I think it's an awesome company, and I watch them now on the streaming. There's one on tonight which I missed because I was doing other things, and I thought, oh well, I've missed it. I might as well do this. Give this a go. So basically, it stars put a lot of Austin Aries in that, but they're not in it a lot. Oops, sorry. And you get early John Moxley matches. There's only a couple on there before he became Dean Ambrose. As well, it's the same character almost. Just a little less crazy. Just it seems more crazy in WWE because everybody in there is like put down PG style. But you've got people like John Moxley, Adam Cole is on this, and the future world champion, who's now the Ring of Honor champion and the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla champion. I'll get to that in a minute. Then you've got Up in Smoke, who's Cheek and Cloudy. You've got Super Smash Brothers, Pano and Dose. Cole O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, who would become tag team partners and be Red Dragon with the titles. Then you've got Rich Swann and AR Fox, who are 2 of the best high flyers I've seen in recent years. Tony Nese, who's not bad. And you've got Drake Younger. Anyone who watches CZW knows who Drake Younger is. He's the guy who was doing all the hardcore wrestling. And oh no. Oh, so sorry, I keep yawning. I hope this doesn't get boring for me yawning. So basically, it's good. It's good. It's run by Gabe Spolowski, I think his name is. He was originally the booker of Ring of Honor, and basically Bryan Danielson was a part of the creation of Evolve. He came up with the name and the rules and everything, and he was meant to be in it, but then obviously got called by WWE and off you go. The one thing I do not like is, I think it's number 5. At the end, it has Bryan Danielson talking about playing the music Final Countdown by Europe. And you're like, yeah, come on, Bryan, come on, yeah, woo, Bryan. And then it's bad to go and do the Final Countdown. It's bad to do the thing he does. And it cuts off to Jimmy Jacobs and Johnny Gargano talking. You're just like, oh, this is great, isn't it? So, I recommend Evolve. If you want to watch some decent independent wrestling, you watch the Evolves. I'm eventually going to do a whole collection overview of my wrestling collection anyway, eventually. So that would be fun. Then we've got, let's have a look. Then we've got Dragon Gate USA, which to be honest I don't want to get to because they're all horrible cases. And it's Dragon Gate USA is basically the same as Evolve. They're a part of Evolve anyway now. So, oh dear. And it's basically got the same people in it, you know, like Chuck Taylor and Jeff Busick, and is it Jeff Busick? I don't know. And people like Chaz and Dave. And, you know, just the normal pro wrestlers you see, you know, on the independent scene, like AR Fox. Johnny Gargano was the champion for 800 days. I have to admit, I watched him lose his title to Ricochet, which was an awesome match. Maybe it was as good as their WrestleMania match. It wasn't as good as their, I think it was Evolve 13 match. I think that match just had me hooked completely. Um, Ricochet is great, but I don't really know if I like him as champion. It's like Chris Hero. Chris Hero beat AR Fox for the Evolve Championship, and I love Chris Hero, and I think he's a great wrestler. But I don't really like him as the Evolve champion because to me it doesn't suit. I expected a high flyer to win it like Rich Swann. You know, he's the FIP Tag Team Champion, or he was. And I don't know, Dragon Gate USA is pretty good. Obviously, being the same as Evolve, it's going to be kind of like the same kind of thing. But I didn't like how on WrestleMania weekend they had Shimmer, Dragon Gate USA, Evolve, um, yeah, all of them. They had it all in the same place. And instead of like changing the ring, you know, the ring skirt, they just left it all the same for the whole weekend. So it kind of looked like the same event, just played over different days. So that kind of got to me, but I did enjoy it more than WrestleMania. WrestleMania to me was awful. If I was going to go about WrestleMania, I'd probably get some hate for this, but you know, I thought the card sucked. Bryan Danielson winning the belt. I'm a big Bryan Danielson fan. I've watched him since 2004, so I'm a massive fan of his for 10 years now. And it was obvious that he was going to win the title. It was obvious he was going to beat Triple H. It was obvious. It was obvious like a week before it happened, a month before it happened, you know. And then you had the Bray Wyatt John Cena match, which was quite good. I really enjoyed it. The way Bray Wyatt was playing games with him, and he was getting more and more mad and attacking him, and you were like, oh, is he going to turn heel? Everybody wants him to turn heel because he's boring as a face, and he'd make a great heel laughing at the kids. What he should do is he should walk up to the kids and slap one man in the face. That would be really good, you know. One of those ones which is one of those like in a wheelchair, because that's how you get heat in the wrestling business. And there's a little kid who's in a wheelchair, when you walk up to him, you go, oh, how you doing? You slap him in the face. So, you know, then you had the Undertaker Brock Lesnar match, which, to be honest with you, I thought the whole match was sloppy. But then, you know, he's getting old, and apparently he had a concussion, and you know, people say he wanted Brock Lesnar to finish the streak, and to be honest with you, that wouldn't surprise me, because when you watch their, as they say, conflict, you know, their stand band, whatever you want to call it, at UFC, I think it was it, UFC, oh dear, I can't remember, 121 was it? I can't remember. When you watch it, he says you want to do it. Well, I would think that would mean him coming back to wrestling and ending the streak. But you know, a lot of people are angry over it. I'm not angry over it. At the end of the day, it's a storyline. The streak was never real. It was just a part of the story. The Undertaker losing the streak was depressing. Sure, it shouldn't have happened because he should have retired on it. Because you know, people wanted to see the Undertaker. Would he lose the streak? Would he not? After he lost the streak, everyone was like, ah, no! Apparently, 4 people committed suicide over it, which is horrendous. And some people just cried and cried. And then there was this guy in the audience with goggly eyes who ended up talking to Triple H, telling him he's his hero and all this rubbish. And, you know, so WrestleMania sucked. And then Extreme Rules, which was on like last Sunday, I watched that and I couldn't even get through it. The Shield versus Evolution match was alright. The rest of it, turned it off halfway through. Don't want to see a couple of dwarf guys fighting. You know, I ain't got anything against them, but it's not my thing. So anyway, going back to what I was saying. Then we've got Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, which I've seen a couple of events of. And the one thing I don't like is I don't think they showed the intros or the exits. I don't think. I can't remember. Um, but I like it, and I'm looking forward to rewatching them. Then we've got the Kevin Steen show, which is basically oh, excuse me. No, what is it? Everything's all over the place. Then we've got the Kevin Steen show with Eddie Edwards. Now I've got nearly every single one of these, and I have to admit they're fun, but they're informative. But Kevin Steen through the whole thing has like a real blocked nose. So basically, every now and then it's like and all that. And it's like, ugh. You know, you feel like he's saying, go get a room. Go get a room with your nose, because it's horrible. And I've got a couple of JCW, something, Juggalo Clown Wrestling. I haven't watched it, but I've got one of them. And I've got a load of other things, which really I can talk about at a different time. TNA, Total Non-Stop Wrestling. How can I put it? That's Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling, I should say. Or Impact Wrestling, as they call themselves now. What can I say about it? It's back in 2004 and 5 and 6. It was fantastic. It was the greatest product on the market. I really loved it after Ring of Honor. And then they make the four-sided ring, and they got all the old has-beens in from WCW and WWE, and it ruined the whole bloody thing, you know. One of the things they go from was a five-sided ring or the six-sided ring. I don't know. I can't remember. And then they had Hulk Hogan and Bischoff, and they had Russo, and it's just like, what? Why would you do all this? You know, Dixie has single-handedly ruined TNA, and now I can't watch it. The only good thing they had recently was Magnus having the title. I met Magnus at the London Comic Con, and I said to him, "You're going to be champion because you're my hero, Magnus." And he said, "I'll be champion just for you, kid." And I was like, "Yay!" And then he became the champion, and I could tell he was doing it just for me, not for his career, because he didn't care about his career, but he was doing it for me. Yep, deluded or what? But anyway, so TNA kind of went down the pot, and I hate it now. Still collect them, but I don't like it as much. They're going to go out of business eventually, like Phil keeps saying, because nobody cares about a crappy promotion like that. So then I watched the King of Flight, which was Brian Kendrick event, which had the best high flyers in the world. Samurai Del Sol, who's probably one of my favourite wrestlers now, who's now in WWE next as something. I can't remember, as Sausage Man or something, I don't know. He's still wearing the same mask, just got a different name. But anyway, so that's the wrestling talk over for the minute. Oh, no, can't forget about that, because I was asked the question, have I watched any ECW shows? And I did respond, but I'm going to respond in this video just because, you know, it's kind of face to face. If you're watching, then I'm talking to you. Alright? Question was asked by Jimmy Richards, a great guy, a great person. I always enjoy his comments. I enjoy him watching the live chats. So thank you, Jimmy Richards. And when I was younger, there was this used video store, and they had some ECW tapes in there. November to Remember 98, 99, and I think it was Guilty by Charged, something like that. And they had at the bottom of it, they had the clocking tape of how long it was, like the actual film tape. And I remember watching it. I remember going, "Oh yeah, mummy, buy me more, mummy, buy me more," and all this. And my mum was like, "I can't afford it, son, because you're nothing but a hound dog." And I was like, "What?" And she tried to feed me a hot dog, but. So I watched ECW probably when I was like 12, and I really got into it, and I started picking up the DVDs like House Party, 95, 96, Bash, bash at the beach, was it? Party at the beach, something like that. And it was Guilty by Charge, November to Remember, Heat Wave. There was all those different ones, and I remember watching them. Born to Be Wild was my favourite. I think it was the barbed wire match with Sabu and Terry Funk, where Sabu cuts his arm, he just tapes it up. That's what you call getting a reputation. Right there, it's been hardcore. It's still got that reputation now, and you're talking about 14, 15 years later. I like Terry Funk, even though I've always thought Terry Funk was like this really deluded old man who still thinks he's got it when he doesn't. He's just an old codger who shits himself in the ring. But, you know, what else was I going to say about it? The Dudley Boys originated from there, and I really liked the Dudley Boys back then because they had Spike Dudley, Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, Sign Guy Dudley, Sly Dudley, Big Dick Dudley. My mum used to always say to me, she wanted Big Dick Dudley. And I used to always say to her, Big Dick Dudley impregnated your mum last night, because that was the saying. So I used to always say that, and it used to always make her laugh, because she used to go, I hope not, because my mum's 60 odd. So it was actually quite funny. Rob Van Dam had, I think it was the Van Daminator, where he threw the chair and did the kick. And yeah, Bill Alfonso was the manager of Sabu and Rob Van Dam. You had the Pitbulls, you had the Executioners with Perry Saturn, you had people in there like Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrero, people who hadn't had big names yet, but you watch it and you think to yourself, wow, you can tell where they rose. I mean, think about Chris Jericho being in Mexico, then going to ECW, and then from ECW to WCW to WWE. It's just amazing when you think about the career and how long that was when you don't think about it, you know? You think he's been wrestling for 20 odd years. You wouldn't think that just by watching WWE. You'd think, wow, he's been WWE for like, what, 14 years? So, with time off and that, obviously, but. So, ECW was a great promotion. It basically brought hardcore, because originally it was called Eastern Championship Wrestling. And Paul Heyman basically wanted to give it an edge. So he gave it Extreme Championship Wrestling, thanks to Todd Golden, and it was a good promotion. It didn't last, obviously. It merged with WWE and WCW, but Paul Heyman's always had a job there, so I reckon he must have signed a contract where he could have a job there, because he's always been in the back or on the stage or that, and he's the Brock Lesnar man, and I should say Brock Lesnar's the Paul Heyman guy now. Claudio Castagnoli, Antonio Cesaro's the Paul Heyman guy. You know, what's he doing coming out as Cesaro now? Why not just call him Antonio Cesaro still? I don't like that. But I was hoping he was going to go for a face turn, but he didn't, Stan Hill, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, so ECW was a great promotion, and some of my favourite matches involve the Sandman, because even though he couldn't wrestle for shit, he was for some reason my favourite wrestler, probably because he was cool enough to smack a can on his head. I don't know, you know, and he caned people with his kendo stick. So that was cool. So yeah, that's probably the wrestling part done of this chat. I could go into Ring of Honor now. I could go into Ring of Honor and everything, but that'd take me hours, and obviously for my first chat I don't want to be in here for hours. But if you want to hear more about me talking about wrestling, let me know. And if you want to ask me any questions, let me know. If the video's finished, obviously, just leave questions in the bottom and I'll answer them in the next video. But so going on to my normal stuff, today we went out and I decided to sell my tablet because I never use it. And the most I used it was yesterday when I did the video on YouTube. Just letting people know, like my vlog, basically, first vlog. But, yeah, alright. But basically, reason why I'd done the overview and stuff. And to be honest with you, this camera's not too bad. I could do the overview on it, but it means I've lugged my whole collection downstairs. And so, now I wanted to tell people what's going on. Oh no, sorry about that. I keep yawning. Maybe I'm trying to get you all to sleep with me, in a platonic way, of course. Um, so we went out and I sold my tablet and I had some trouble in CEX, then making me wait and the one behind the counter going, oh, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. I was like, oh, shut the hell up, just do your job and let me rest, right? So we did that and I come home and I started watching Nip Tuck season 5 because I've been watching it a lot lately. And it's not a bad show. Nip Tuck, I watched it all before years ago because I had them all on DVD. Now I got the first 4 seasons, series 1 to 3 on DVD and 4 on Blu-ray. So I thought I'd watch them on Netflix, because they're all on there. And I like the show, but it does get really crazy after series 3. It gets insane, but I do like craziness in shows. I like the over the top, the violence, the sexuality, like Sean fantasizing about Julia's partner's daughter, who looks like a slut. And there is in 90210, the new series. I don't like her. I don't think she's that great of an actress, and I don't like her curly hair. That's what I hate about her, curly hair. Yeah, and that weird face which goes like this. That's weird. But, so I've been watching that, and that's been alright. I'm tempted to watch Passion tonight and maybe do a review about it. I don't know. I don't know if it's any good, but I thought I'd pick it up because I like the idea of having a red Blu-ray case. It's the reason I bought it. I like buying films in different coloured cases. I should probably just buy one of every coloured case and put a film of my choosing in. That'll probably make it better. So, still haven't heard about the job. Haven't heard from Best Buy. I went in there actually. Yeah, I went in Best Buy and I said to the woman at the counter, could you get the manager so I can ask him what's going on with the job? Because, some people need to work to earn some money. So she said, okay, because she was eating. So then we went to, and then waited, and she went like this on her thing. She went like this. Hello, do you want to? Malcolm's here. He's wanting to know about the job. Can you please let him know? Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. So I'm like, what's she telling you, darling? What's she telling you? You need to tell me what's going on. And she goes like this. He says he's still waiting to find out about he's still checking the thing so he'll get in contact with you real soon. And there's me like, why can't he come down and tell me himself? And she's like, he's a very busy man. And I'm like, why doesn't the manager come and talk to me? I know he's busy, but why can't he come down and see? But me, being the person I wanted to know what was going on because I was told I was going to hear last Thursday or Friday what was happening. I didn't. So, I got a bit concerned. Was I waiting for a job that wasn't available? Was the job free? So, apparently I'm going to find out next week. It's only really got on my nerves now because I really want to get a job so I can help Donna and because I can be the man of the house and do what I want to do, and not have to rely on my wife because, when you're a man, it should be the other way around. The wife should be relying on you. So, well, that's my view anyway, But yeah, my next video chat is with James on Saturday at 1 my time, which is Pacific in America, and 9 PM his time in England. I don't know what we're going to talk about. The last video chat was fun. It was awesome. I have to admit, I want to apologise to anyone who watches this video, watched that video, because I got cut off due to being on a phone call, and the internet went without me knowing, and when I got back, I was talking, going, oh, James, Merry Christmas, buddy, and he wasn't there. So, I'm sorry about that, James, and I'm sorry about that to anyone who was watching. To you, Kelly, to you, Jimmy, and whoever was watching the videos, watch the video. So, there I am, sitting there talking to myself, thinking, why isn't James talking? And we're gone, So, yeah, that's happening on Saturday. tomorrow I've got 400 cases that turned up, DVD cases, so I'm going to be putting all my Ring of Honors in cases tomorrow, and clearing up the stuff that came in the box today. Like some of my Arrow films, my Justified Series 1 and 2, Chuck Series 1, 2, 3 and 4, Pawn, and whatever else I can think of was in there. Paintings that my stepdad made, which nobody wants to see, because if they do, they'll have nightmares. Yeah, they're that bad. But I like them. Everybody else hates them, but I love them. I've got Gaddafi in the bathtub on the wall in the hallway. I'll have to show people that eventually. But anyway, so yeah, the next video chat's on Saturday with James, and he's crazy when it comes to talking because he brings up these weird subjects like drunk scuba diving and drunk skydiving and being naked and stuff. I don't ever talk about that. Me, I'm very conservative, and I'm very what do you call it? He brings all that stuff, and he was singing a Christmas song. No, that was me. But yeah, I just wanted to do this to see what it was like to start off with, and kind of work my way into doing maybe one of these a week, because my camera's blown up and doesn't work. And you know, my subscribers, they deserve me to show my commitment by doing videos. So I hope you like it, and I hope you're all doing well. And I've got to go now because it's time for a cuppa. Yes, that was my view of Gareth Archer doing their thing. That was my tribute to Gareth Archer. But seriously though, I'm gonna go now. If anyone's watched this, please leave a comment. And thank you for watching, and I love you all, and I appreciate all your nice comments and all your questions. And thanks for supporting me, and thanks for being you guys. Take care. God bless. Bye.